Well, hello there. Welcome to another episode of This Entrepreneurial Life. My name is Erlen Bakke. I am the best-selling author of a book called Never Work Again and 90 Days to Profit. And if this video is all about outsourcing to the Philippines, which is on that side here, you actually do get the book for free. Outsourcing Mastery, 17 tips on how to outsource to the Philippines. Now, you get that if you go to You Will Never Work Again /bonus. You get the Outsourcing Mastery book for free. It's a PDF, and you can share it with other people if they want to outsource as well. So outsourcing to the Philippines is something that I discovered in 2008 when I was starting my 360 photography company in Norway. I was editing so many images that my right arm was hurting, my left arm was hurting, and I just couldn't edit any more images. I couldn't afford to hire people in Norway either, so I asked myself, what can I do about it? So I started with an ad in on a Filipino website. I got about 30 applicants. Only about 5 people passed my test. And then I employed one guy after I've tried the 5 people for a while, and he is still my business partner today. So that's kind of my success story from 2008 with outsourcing to the Philippines. After a while, I had a VA. The VA was called Regina Evangelista, and she is now my business partner in Mr. Outsource that helps small companies, small to medium companies outsource to the Philippines. It's a business processing company. We do a lot of appointment setting and data processing. So there's the spiel. So why outsource to the Philippines? Well, I've found Filipinos to be loyal, transparent, and hard workers. There are a couple of things to think about, though. For instance, you need to make sure that you're not too direct. Don't be too demanding. Don't be too harsh. Be quite sensitive. They are when they work with somebody in the US or Norway or Europe, their confidence level isn't the same as yours. So just make sure that you have a little bit of sensitivity when working with them. Also make sure that they actually understand the task. Sometimes they have the tendency to say yes and then struggle with it and then disappear if you are too demanding of them. So it's a little bit different way of working, but here's the thing. If you go slowly, if you take the time, if you're patient, if you see the long-term goal of having a loyal partner for years to come, then outsourcing to the Philippines and being patient with the training can be a really, really good big advantage for you and your business. So I've actually built 2 companies based on that principle: finding a good person, training them day by day, being patient, adding value to them, giving them training, listening to their needs, all the other things that you need to do as a leader. And slowly, they get really, really good, and they save you thousands of hours a year. So outsourcing to the Philippines is something that a lot of people struggle with. I believe it's because a lot of people have too high expectations. You kind of expect to have amazing quality, and that's also partly, a lot of people in the industry have gone out there and sort of spoken it up, like, oh, I don't do anything, they do everything. I kind of touched on that in Never Work Again as well, but I do mention that I did do a lot of training with them. You can do a lot of training by creating screen captures, creating videos like this, and the good thing, that's my Apple Watch going off. I'm doing one of my power blocks. So I'm about to have a break. I'm about 4 minutes into this video, but I will continue. But if you have any questions about outsourcing to the Philippines, please just write a comment below, and I'll get back to you. I do have 9 years experience of outsourcing to the Philippines, so I know quite a bit about it. The first step is really to recruit. So how do you recruit? Well, you can put ads on different pages. You can go to outsource. I can't remember all the websites now, because once you have one good employee, you get them to find you more people. You don't typically John Jonas has a website which is all about outsourcing to the Philippines. So if you Google John Jonas, you'll find his website. But if you don't want to do that, you can go to a recruitment company, and they'll find somebody for you. You likely have to pay for it. and you can also go to freelancer and things like that and find people. So the important thing is that once you are clear on what you want and what you need, and that you're willing to pay for it for a while, you don't want to do something just a little while. You want to do it over time so that you get the result. You want to keep on doing something so it improves and improves and improves, and it starts working for you. Business is kind of like melting an ice cube. So when you put an ice cube and you somewhere and you start melting, let's say you take an ice cube out of the fridge and you put it on your desk, it's going to take a while to melt, but after a while it will melt. But it takes a while, it takes a little while to change shape. But when it's water and you start heating it, it takes a while for it to actually become steam. So it's kind of like that in business as well. So if you have decided to outsource to the Philippines, then be committed for a year, so that you can actually get it working for you. What happens with most people is well, first of all, we try to do too many things, and then we do too many things really badly. And because we do things badly, we don't get the result. And because we're not getting the result, we try to do more things, which we again do badly, and we don't get the result. So, if you decide on doing something, then it's really worth doing it properly and giving it enough time so that you can actually melt that ice cube and create steam or water or whatever you're trying to do. So make sure that you know what you want, committed to it, and then interview lots and lots of people. Typically, it's your gut feeling that lets you know whether a person's worth going for or not. But I typically send them a test. In the test, there's typically a mistake. If they don't spot the mistake, I kind of weed them out, because that means they're not dedicated enough, or not diligent enough, or not enough focused on quality. Once I find a person, I might find a couple of people. I'll try them out for a little while. I'll tell them as well, there's 4 other people doing the same task as you. I'll hire the best person after a month, and then typically you get the best person. And yes, it's time consuming, yes, it's challenging, but that's why I'm saying, you need to commit for at least a year to get the result that you want. But it definitely works. Working with people definitely works. I do find myself some days, being annoyed, being frustrated. And I get more frustrated when I'm stressed. All right. So the more stressed I am, the more things I'm trying to do, the more impatient I will be with people. So again, that's why you shouldn't be doing a lot of things. You should be aiming for that one home run instead of the sort of 3 mediocre things. So yeah, there will be times where you get frustrated, especially if you haven't delegated before, if you haven't worked with people before in terms of delegation a lot, then it can be quite frustrating at times, but you kind of need to suck that in and realize that you at some point didn't know what you were doing either, and that's where this person is. So kind of treat people as you want to be treated. Be patient, be nice, be kind, don't yell at people, and give it time. So I use the golden rule when working with people. That goes for anywhere in the world. I treat people as I want to be treated. I don't always succeed at that, but I do try. Outsourcing to the Philippines is a big topic. It's a big topic. So the best thing is to write a comment below so that I can get back to you on the question you might have. What does it cost? It costs anything from $300 to $1,000 or more a month. But I think the ballpark figure for somebody that's reasonably intelligent with a university degree is about $500. And you get what you pay for, typically. It's good to give a lot of surprise bonuses. So if somebody does a good job, then maybe you give them a $50 bonus just because you've succeeded, they've succeeded. Another thing to do is actually to read How to Win Friends and Influence People, because it's a really good book in terms of understanding people, what people want. What we deeply desire is to feel important, valued, listened to, etc. But check out How to Win Friends and Influence People, one of my favorite books. I read it every year. I do have a book list of 10 books that I read every year. Those are the kind of strategies that I've decided to be good at. Those are the techniques that I need to practice consistently to get better at. So I'm not really out there reading lots and lots of books anymore. I read those 10 books that I believe in, and then I try to apply it the best I can. So other things about outsourcing to the Philippines, I haven't had any problems with theft or anything like that, or sharing passwords, etc. People generally just want to get paid on time or early and be valued, and so treat them well and be kind. So without further ado, I will end this video on outsourcing to the Philippines. Check out Outsourcing Mastery, which you get for free on youwillneverworkagain.com/bonus. You can also check out my international best-selling book called Never Work Again, which is on that side. I've learned that it's not this side, this is opposite side. And Hardcore MBA, I've interviewed more than 250 world-leading experts in business, wisdom, entrepreneurship, life, etc. So if you like this video, please like it or share it. Thank you for watching. My name is Erlen Bakke, and this is The Entrepreneurial Life.